Good morning, fellow modelers. My name is Drew, and this would be my first talkie video that I've made of my progress on this kit that I'm currently working on. It's the Tamiya 1/48 scale Grumman F4F-4 Wildcat. And a little bit about me, I came back to modeling after about 30 years. I loved building planes as a kid, and I've always been interested in World War II and just airplanes in general. I have a buddy I work with who mentioned just in passing one day that he can't wait to retire because he wants to work on all his models he has. And so I was like, oh, cool, you build models. So he invited me over, and he's one of those people who has tons of models stored, and also has tons of models built and hanging in his model room and all over the place. So that really inspired me to get back into the hobby. I have a pretty stressful job as a school administrator, so this is a great way to relax and also to learn a little bit more about the history of the aircraft. And so that's kind of where I'm at. When I got back into the hobby, first thing I really did was turn to YouTube and start looking and seeing kind of what I missed as a kid. We were kids, we just built planes, and luckily if we got a can of spray painted them, slapped some decals on them, had glue spots on the planes, and we were proud about it, and we played with them. And then maybe on 4th of July took some bad ones we didn't like and put black cats in them, and played war, that sort of thing. So but it's a great hobby, and I owe a lot to those who I've been watching and following on YouTube. And I'm by no means a professional modeler. I've never even been to a model show. This is just a way for me to maybe give back to the community, and also I have friends and family who like to see what I'm up to, so this is a neat way to do that. But this kit has been reviewed so many times on YouTube or on modeling forums. It's everything about it I've read is just a fantastic kit, and I love carrier-based airplanes from World War II. And I got a gift card from my daughters for Christmas, and I picked this up at the local hobby town. And so far it's been a lot of fun. I'm not going to do a sprue review. Basically, obviously, you get 2 sprues. It's a Tamiya kit. It's actually my first Tamiya kit, and so if they're all cracked up to be what everybody says they are, it's going to be a lot of fun. But let me show you what I've done so far. The instructions are pretty straightforward. It actually has you starting in the painting up the interior. You join the fuselage halves, then you build the cockpit, and the cockpit goes up into the bottom. And so basically what I've done is I started off by just doing the interior parts. I painted, and I've actually assembled this already, put these 2 halves together. It's hard to see in there. However, I will have some still photos. But I joined the fuselage halves after painting the interior with interior green. Did a little dry brushing on some of the consoles here. Also the the map holders I painted with some leather paint, and again, it went together really well. It's just going to require just a little bit of if I can get that focus there, just a little bit of sanding in between just to smooth out, but there are no gaps. I don't see any need. There's no need for filler on this. I might need to run just a little bit of perfect plastic putty right up in there into that wing root, but that shouldn't be an issue at all. The details are very nice. It's the rivet details. You can see that, and the engraved lines. So it should take a wash really nice. I did post a video of my builds that I've done since I got back into the hobby. A lot of it's been experimental. I've been doing different things, and I don't typically, for me anyway, and there's nothing wrong with it, I don't heavily weather the planes. I just a little bit of weathering. I try not to overdo it. Basically, because when I complete a model, I'm afraid of ruining it and making it look ugly. But I've seen so many video builds of models that they just look incredible, and with all the weathering and chipping and everything that goes into it. But and I'm building this right out of the box. I didn't get any photo etch parts or anything like that. This is the cockpit so far. And if I can get in there a little bit, get a little bit closer for you. Get focused here. I've only just, all I did was I painted the interior green, and then I, of course, painted the instrument panel black and some of the other instrument panels, control boxes, etc., black, as instructions said. And then I kind of went over it, dry brushed a little bit with silver, and then gave it a wash. And so that's pretty much all I've done. And you can see there's an oxygen canister in the back. There are no seat belts. I'm going to try to make some seat belts using the Rob method. The Rob Basic Modeler posted a video a few days ago about how he makes seat belts from pieces of styrene and tinfoil. So I might try that. And also, you notice on the front, I've already installed it, but this firewall, bulkhead, whatever you want to call it, attaches here. You can see the chains on the very intricate landing gear that the Wildcat is pretty famous for. And also forgive me if this isn't perfect. I got a brand new camera for Christmas, and trying to get oriented to it. But again, I just painted it. One thing I want to note is that although the instructions on this Wildcat calls for all the landing gear, the top part, this part here, and let me get a pointer here, excuse me. This part here, the landing gear, it calls for white. I think that's too stark and too bright. I did a little research, and it did show that, or the research I saw online said that when they built these planes, the ones that were made by Grumman, they used what was called Grumman gray and not white. And they said the best equivalent to Grumman gray is gold gray. And so I used gold gray. I think it looks nice. The gold gray, it's not as stark as a solid white color or bright white color. It kind of gives a little bit of age as well. And I can maybe zoom in a little bit. You can see the cockpit a little bit better. Whoops. Sorry again. And again, let's just let's get focused here. Okay. And again, it's just dry brushing, picking out a little bit of details on the consoles, and giving it a little, and putting a wash over it and give it a little bit of worn look. Okay, so that's where I'm at on the cockpit. And again, it's going to fit up in here like so. And if everything else falls together like it should go right in. Okay. And so I'll get that assembled here before too long. Okay, it looks like it's going to fit just fine. Also been working on the engine. As you can see here, get the camera focused. There we go. The engine, again, I just follow the instructions on the kit instructions, and base coated it with Tamiya gunmetal, and I painted some areas the black that it called for, and then put a wash over it. I still need to go through and maybe pick out the wiring and paint those up a little bit. Okay. Part of the landing gear is the the Wildcat. The top part where it connects to the fuselage is again gold gray, and the bottom part actually it calls for semi-gloss black. But again, I think in military planes, I try not to go with the stark colors. This is actually, the paint is Model Master's grimy black, and it has a really nice, it's still black when you look at it, but it has a really nice kind of tint of gray to it, where it gives it a little bit of age to it. And I'll show you a little bit better as I prepped the wheels or the tires so far. That's painted in grimy black as well. I think Tamiya makes what's called NATO black, which is very similar. I just saw that on another video. And I'll get ready to paint the wheel hubs. And so I get those ready. I've also started on the propeller. I give it a shot of primer, then I paint the tips yellow and let that cure real well. And then what I do is I take a piece of Tamiya tape, tape the ends, and then spray it with either a flat or semi-gloss black. And and then this middle part probably be a steel or aluminum color. Okay, so that's where I'm at on the propeller there. Okay. I've also started assembling the wings, and okay, again they went together fantastic. It just needs a little bit of sanding along the edge just to smooth it out and smooth the glue out. Okay, you can see right here this was painted in gold gray as well. Okay. Okay, but again you can see if I'm getting close and get focus there, you can see the details are really nice riveting details. So a nice wash will really bring those out and bring out the panel lines as well. Okay. Okay, so it's going really well. It's a fun build, and it's actually a very simple build. There's not a ton of parts that go with this plane. Everything goes together really nice. So I'm going to continue on. I'll post some pictures as well, and hopefully get this wrapped up here before too long. Appreciate you watching, and take care.